A very long time ago, there was a time when nothing but matter existed in this world. Entity in ooze forms a certain something, appearing and disappearing and appearing once again. Eventually, it grabbed on to what we know as life. It's almost the perfect term for it, isn't it? To live is to grab on. The ultimate reason for its survival lies in its capability to multiply. In order to do that, life took new forms, adapting to every kind of environment, and culminating in you and me today. Greater numbers and greater diversity meant greater survival. The air around us does not seek to multiply, nor do water or dust. Ever since life began, it just wanted to grab on. Is that why you and I experience fear? Because death runs counter to its purpose. Is that why you and I are bound by sexual drive, only to multiply? Is there really no other purpose or meaning to our lives? Well, don't expect any answers here. There are only questions and mountains of them. Ever since the beginning, it seems humans made it imperative to know and asked this very question over and over again. And why was this question always related to God? Why not something else? Is this insinuating that there is no smoke without fire? Or did we just lack further imagination? I personally am tired of the conventional debate over whether God exists or not. It seems to me that one faction deems it patronizing and degrading for there to be another entity dictating the universe, and the second faction is just disgusted with their arrogance. Anyways, I'm no better than the two. I'm just walking you through my thought process. Do you ever ask yourself, is this really all there is to it? To suggest there is an afterlife is to suggest humans are significant monitored creatures. Just 20 years ago, people thought that since the universe is so vast, there must be other sentient creatures somewhere. However, in the scientific community today, there is little argument in favor of some other entity out there. Given the uniqueness of our solar system, it hosts a gas giant of huge size that influences the stability of the inner planets. And because there is only one star, planets have stable, nearly circular orbits. These are indeed scientific findings, but beliefs are a choice. Atheists believe it is mere coincidence. Others believe it's too good to be a coincidence. What do you believe? To suggest there is an afterlife is to suggest there is a heaven or hell, because humans are the only species that have a moral compass or consciousness towards good and evil. This is definitely a stronger argument than Earth's disposition in the universe. No good deed goes unpunished. If that is true in this life, then I am sure no bad deed goes unpunished is going to be true in the next life. Dear neo-Darwinists, I don't have your level of expertise on the matter, and this is just my humble opinion, but let's say the theory of evolution is true, then natural selection surely made an exception for morality to only exist in human mammals. Don't you think we need a new name? How about intentionally biased selection? An atheist might counter me by saying we are smart creatures, so it's inevitable that we often create social constructs like good and evil. I can answer that with another question. Why does it hurt? Why does it hurt when being cheated, or lied to, or bullied, or transgressed over in any form? Feelings arise from activations of specialized neuronal populations in several parts of the cerebral cortex. Here, the abstract came into contact with the concrete. So if you're going to adopt a modern, scientific, pragmatic point of view, don't spout nonsense like social constructs. I would feel a lot easier if I didn't believe in the afterlife. It seems that I didn't exist for the past 20,000 years, and I didn't suffer the slightest discomfort. To go back to that nothingness when I die seems kinda nice, but all evidence compels me to believe in the afterlife. If we favor the uniqueness of our planet as a design, that must mean someone calculated it, and the existence of good and evil as evidence of an afterlife. That also means someone was watching the entire time, and the time to be judged has come. I'm sure you're familiar with the argument, since everything that begins to exist has a cause, and the universe began to exist, the universe must have had a cause, which was itself not caused. What's weird is that it's actually religious people that are coming forth with this argument. And if you're to approach the matter with absolute pragmatism, you cannot rely on any of the holy books, because they just descended from the sky, and that makes no pragmatic case. I wouldn't advise religious persons to convince non-religious persons by stating logical arguments. Beliefs are not scientific, they are a choice. What made me criticize this approach is a deeper emphasis on how God actually wanted to make the case that he exists, which was actually a pragmatic approach, but not in the same approach set religious people use today, which is miracles. Now you're wondering, why would I describe miracles as somehow a pragmatic approach? Let's take an example, the most famous of religious miracles, the birth of Jesus Christ. Do you really believe this is a miracle as opposed to your own creation? Is walking on water more of a miracle than the creation of water itself? Let's say God made all the laws of physics and established this universe in the most mathematically genius of ways. Then wanted you to know that he was responsible for it by breaking one of the laws, like the possibility of giving birth without a partner or walking on water. This definitely makes a pragmatic approach, because the creation of the universe is the true miracle, and a simple birth without a father is just a sign, an indication. God wanted to make that case, and it seems to me that it makes perfect sense. I'm not necessarily saying Jesus Christ is God or anything of the sort. If you keep analyzing the data and adopt a process of elimination as you go on, you are going to be left with the conclusion that God exists.